Over the course of 4 years, I've learned a lot about trying to maximize my potential as an athlete. While I've grown massively over these years, I've also made a lot of mistakes that I could have prevented along the way. These are the biggest lessons I've learned over the years of trying to become the strongest cyclist I could be. First up is fueling is paramount. You know that old saying that you can't outride a poor diet? Well, I learned the hard way that this is absolutely true. When I started my journey, I was also on a very big weight loss journey, dropping from 260 to 160 pounds where I am now. And during that time, I got really caught up in only losing weight. When I first started this journey, I followed the classic line that anybody who's been on a weight loss journey and exercising, especially in endurance sports, has followed. If I don't eat while I'm running or riding, that's when I'm gonna burn all my fat. That's when I'm gonna lose the weight, and then after, it doesn't matter. But what I was really doing was compromising my performance. I would starve myself on the bike, be bonked by the end of the ride, and then when I got off, I was starving. I'd run down to the kitchen, I'd make myself a protein shake, but then also raid my cabinets of any snack I could find because I was so hungry. And that big deficit I just created on the bike, well, it was pretty much erased. It wasn't until I was listening to a Trainer Road podcast. And on the episode, they had a gentleman who also went through a weight loss and cycling transformation journey, and he was doing the same thing that I was doing. He was riding, he wasn't eating on the bike, and he would be starving after. And then he would go raid his kitchen. And later on in that episode, he says his mindset shifted from not eating on the bike to simply never being hungry while riding. You never want to be hungry on the bike. And that is what really helped me switch the mindset to say, oh, it's okay to eat while I'm on the bike. It's actually necessary. How am I going to feel good and fuel these rides if I'm not eating, if I'm not fueling properly? A race car doesn't perform its best while running on fumes, and cyclists are no different. My goal this season is to fuel every ride appropriately so I never feel hungry while I'm riding, and I'm never hungry the minute I get off the bike to try to stunt that hunger. Next up is consistency is key. You can't build a solid base, facilitate adaptations, and expect any growth without consistency. Early on in my journey, I decided that partying and going out on the weekends was more important than riding. And as you can imagine, that stunted my growth massively. I was giving up 2 of the most precious days of the week to go out to the bar, drinking, eating like there was no tomorrow, and basically just hitting the reset button every Saturday and Sunday from all that progress that I'd made during the week. And that wasn't gonna work in the long run. So in 2023, I decided to do away with drinking entirely. And I haven't looked back since, and it's been great. And now every Saturday and Sunday, I'm always on the bike doing some sort of long ride, a race, an event, you name it. I'm always doing that. Drinking, partying, not even a question, not even a thought anymore. I mean, think about your favorite athletes. I can guarantee not a single one of them didn't get to where they are today without consistency. In today's world, there's very little excuses as to why you can't be consistent. We have indoor training now, which has allowed us to ride through the winter and stay very consistent in our power output and our duration. We don't have to stop pedaling for stop signs and cars while we're out on the road. You don't have to wait for the sun to come up. You don't have to wait for traffic to die down. You can get on and ride anytime. Indoor training has absolutely helped me grow probably the most in my entire journey because I'm able to be so consistent and hit my number and my power goals and durations for high zone rides. And those are the things that are really gonna help you to raise your ceiling and get you to where you wanna be as an athlete. Next up is a lack of blank will come back around to bite you in the end. It's easy to think that we can get away with certain aspects of being an athlete, but these things will come back around if we're not giving them the attention that they deserve, and they will knock us out of training, cause injury, cause a loss of fitness in the end if we do not address them. These are things like poor sleep, excess stress, not fueling properly, ignoring recovery days. There's so many aspects to being able to perform at your best. And I would say a lack of sleep over a prolonged period and excess stress both accumulate and add up to really drag you down as an athlete. And they certainly have dragged me down in the past. When I'm feeling bad, I have this excess stress that I'm carrying around. I know I'm just not in a good spot to perform. I'm tense in the muscles. My heart rate is just elevated a little bit more than I would like. My mental state is really foggy and I'm short-tempered. I just get irritated easy. And other than maybe a rage sprint at the end of a race, those things aren't great for performance. I've heard from many people that if they were able to head off into the woods, into some cabin, and just train, then they could reach their athletic peak. But we can't do that. We can't be nomads who simply train, eat, and sleep. It's not a thing. We are human beings. We have jobs. We have lives to live. We have families. We have people who depend on us. We have people we love. We have pets. We have dogs, cats. We have it all. It's up to us to manage our stress, decompress, get a good night's rest every night so we can recover properly. It's up to us to eat appropriately in the kitchen. It's up to us to put ourselves in the best position we can to hit our athletic peak. Another thing I really like to press on people is if you are lacking in the stretching department, that is gonna come around and bite you. That's gonna bite you hard, let me tell you what. Back in 2023, I found myself dealing with massive IT band issues, crazy pain whenever I would ride at any duration because my muscles were so tight and under stress and locked up. So I had to spend 2 months in physical therapy where I would have been on my bike during my winter base building phase, but I was busy doing banded exercise and just getting my muscles to a place where they were pliable. I can also attribute a lack of recovery to my poor diet. When I was on the bike, I would underfuel so catastrophically that I wasn't giving my muscles what they needed to actually rebuild and recover. And when I would fuel so inadequately, and I would be so hungry after, that's when I would run to the kitchen. So what would it do? It would pull me out of my room where I ride, this room. And when I'm in this room and I'm thinking about the bike, everything is cool. I'm riding, and then guess what? When I'm feeling good after, that's when I get into my stretching routine. I don't have to run to the kitchen and fuel immediately because I'm so bonked after. I can settle in, I can allow myself to decompress and relax and give my muscles the attention that they need to recover so I can perform great the next day. Stress is something we all encounter in our daily lives. It's gonna happen. We're human beings, and it's up to us to actually figure out how to deal with that stress. We can't just walk around with all this weight on our shoulders. We need to find ways to decompress, let it go, come back to an equilibrium, allow our nervous system to function properly, take ourselves out of fight or flight, and relax. We need to spend the time off the bike in a relaxed state so our body can function properly and recover. If you're tense all the time, you're walking around with all this stress, you're not gonna recover very efficiently. You're gonna feel pretty terrible all the time. And that's not gonna go away when you get on the bike. So it's up to us to incorporate things like breathing exercises, yoga, meditation, and even talk therapy into our daily lives to deal with that stress. My goal for this season is to simply use what I've learned from the mistakes I've made and turn this into my best season yet. I want to live up to that potential that I know I have inside me. I want to perform to the maximum level that I can, get stronger every ride, perform well at events, tackle huge rides and races, and do things that I just never thought was possible. And the best way to do that is to simply take care of myself and minimize those mistakes that are very easy to make, but also very easy to get right if you just plan accordingly and don't get lazy along the way, leaving things and saying, well, I didn't do it today, I'm not gonna do it today, but I'll do it tomorrow. No. Do it every day. Be regimented, be consistent, have a plan, and don't just work off a hope factor. We can hope we're gonna perform well at the next race we're entering, but doing things correctly, fueling, recovering properly, managing stress, building systems that allow us to actually perform, that's how you know you're gonna guarantee yourselves those performance goals and those results that you know you're capable of. So thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.